What we're seeing a lot of this year is that people are breaking down the complex world of digital transformation into little silo bite-sized pieces. So rather than seeing people providing a full solution, we're seeing lots of providers of little elements of financial solutions. That's a little bit different from last year, in my opinion.
Let me start with the second question. In the past, we have seen a lot of innovation at Finovate, a lot of young companies showing new innovation for fintech. And now the innovation part has moved away in much more like common things like onboarding, like security. And I really miss that a little bit. We're showing a complete new innovation called Time Warp, which is an application for people to simulate decisions and simulate what happens in the future. So they see the future impact of their decisions, while they can use this application and just scrub into the future and see what's happening.
Today we're going to be showcasing a new innovation that we've come up with called Time Warp. Nothing to do with the Rocky Horror Show at all, except it looks into the future. It's an app from CREALOGIX that allows a bank to give their users the opportunity to predict the impact of any financial decisions that they make. The app helps end users to make better financial decisions because it gives them a chance to simulate those decisions and see how it will impact on their future finances. So for example, if somebody wants to take out a mortgage, it allows them not just to look at the cost of that mortgage, but all the related costs as well, which it knows will be important to be taken into account as part of that decision.
Taking financial decisions is an extremely difficult thing to do currently because you have so many influences, and then let's say you want to save for your retirement. Where do you start? How do you start? And on the other side, you want to buy a car or do something else. And this application really helps to simulate. You take a decision, simulate it, and you see the future impact. And this is a big thing for people. This did not exist in the past yet.
At the moment, my advice to the traditional banks is to not be afraid of the challenger environment that exists at the moment, but to stop ignoring it. The challenger banks have got a bit of a lead on the traditional banks at the moment because the traditional banks are looking at the number of switches that are happening, whereas what the millennial generation are doing currently is opening multiple accounts with lots of different brands. Now, with the open banking that is now a regulation within the UK market, there's an opportunity for all the banks to get a lead in terms of their brand being at the forefront as a financial owner for consumers. So I think it's really important that the traditional banks stop worrying about dealing with small elements of user experience and look at the full digital transformation, and they can do that by working with a company like CREALOGIX.
I have two pieces of advice. The first thing is move on. I mean, I think the traditional banks got kind of frozen, so they see all this new functionality coming from challenger banks, and I don't see a lot of movement here. I think they should be moving forward and talk to companies like us, like CREALOGIX, and they get all this nice functionality out of the box. And this is something which I would give first advice. And the second advice is, the open banking is a big chance for the future. And I see them that they fear to become a donor. You know, they have to open up themselves, they have to give away data, but this fear is really the wrong thing. That the right thing is to open up and create their own ecosystem by embracing new technologies, embracing not only fintech, but also lifestyle stuff in order to make an ecosystem which is really valuable for their customers.
We're delighted that we have won the Best of Show again this year with our Time Warp app. Fantastic. 3 years in a row. That gives us the hat trick that we were looking for. The reality is we genuinely innovate on an ongoing basis within our business, and we keep coming here and demonstrating those innovations, and that's what's ended up with us having this result again this year.